Good day everyone. Today I will be reporting on the 5 topic which is environmental awareness and disaster preparedness, good governance, graft and corruption, unemployment, and last, child abuse. First, let's talk about environmental awareness versus action. Many ecological disasters such as flooding and landslide continue to happen because some citizens lack proper environmental awareness. Improper waste disposal, illegal logging, and neglect environmental laws worsen this disaster. While many people already know this problem, not everyone acts on this knowledge. To bridge this gap, education should focus not only on lessons inside the classroom, but also in real-life activities such as community cleanups, tree planting, and disaster preparedness drill. Through hands-on learning, citizens can be better understand how their actions affect the environment. Next, let us discuss climate change and infrastructure. As a climate change intensifies, local governments have an ethical and practical responsibility to protect their communities. This includes building and improving disaster resilience infrastructures such as seawalls, flood control systems, and proper drainage. These projects may be expensive, but they help prevent greater loss of lives and property. Local governments must ensure the infrastructure projects are well planned, transparent, and focus on the safety of the people, especially those living in high-risk area. Now, moving on to community-based preparedness. Community-based disaster preparedness programs, such as local emergency drills and voluntary rescue teams, and high effective in saving lives. These programs allow the residents to respond quickly during disaster because they are already trained and informed, compared to the top-down government mandates. Community-based approach encourage cooperation and shared responsibility. However, the result comes when community initiatives are supported by government resources and leaderships. Lastly, let us examine the role of media. Traditional and social media play a vital role in spreading environmental awareness to end disaster awareness. They provide real-time updates that help people prepare and stay safe. However, media can also cause panic or spread misinformation. It reports are inaccurate or exaggerate. Therefore, responsible reporting and public media literacy are essential to ensure that information shared during disaster is clear, accurate, and helpful. So let's proceed on the topic of good governance. First, let us define good governance. Beyond the absence of corruption, good governance is characterized by transparency, accountability, participation, rule of law effectiveness, and inclusiveness. A truly good governance framework ensures the public resources are used efficiently and that government action serve the best interests of the people. In developing nation, this characteristic can be objectively measured through indicators such as audit reports, service delivery performance, public satisfaction surveys, compliance with laws, and international governance indices. Regular monitoring and independent oversight are essential to ensure these standards are met. Let us discuss technology and transparency. Advancements in digital technology play a vital role in promoting transparency and accountability in public financial management. Open data allows citizens to access government budgets, expenditures, and procurement records. Meanwhile, technologies such as a blockchain can help create secure and tamper-proof records of financial transactions. These digital tools reduce opportunities for corruption, improve efficiency, and strengthen public trust in government institutions. Now, moving on citizen participation. Citizens' involvement through consultation, public hearings, and referendums is often considered a key element of good governance. Participation allows people to express their needs and concerns, making policies more inclusive and responsive. However, critics argue that excessive participation can slow the decision making. Despite this, when participation is well structured and guided, it enhances legitimacy and accountability rather than causing inefficiency. Therefore, citizen participation should be seen as a strength, not a weakness of good governance. Lastly, let us examine the role of civil service. A professional and merit-based civil service is essential in ensuring policy continuity and administrative efficiency, regardless of political changes. Civil servants, who are selected based on competence and integrity, provide stability, institutional memory, and consistent public service delivery. This independence from political influence allows government's program to continue effectively even during leadership transitions. Let's proceed to the graft and corruption on development. First, let us discuss the impact of graft and corruption on development. Rampant corruption undermines a nation's long-term economic growth in several ways. It discourages foreign direct investment because investors avoid countries where bribery, weak institutions, and unpredictable regulation are common. Corruption also weakens public service as funds intended for education, healthcare, and infrastructure are often diverted for people gain. In addition, corruption worsens wealth inequality by concentrating resources in the hands of a few living marginalized factors without access to basic service and economic opportunities. Next, let us differentiate individual corruption and systemic corruptions. Individual corruption includes petty bribery, such as paying bribes to speed up transactions or avoid penalties. Systemic corruption, on the other hand, involves state capture where powerful individuals or groups influence laws and policies for their own benefit. While both are harmful, systemic corruption poses a greater threat to democratic institutions because it undermines the rule of law and weakness public trust in government. Addressing individual corruptions requires strict enforcement of law and penalties, while systemic corruption demands institutional reforms, transparency, and political accountability. Now, let us evaluate the anti-corruption toolkit. Anti-graft courts, ombudsman office, and freedom of information laws are essential tools in fighting corruption. Anti-graft courts helps ensure swift and fair prosecution of corrupt officials, while ombudsman office investigate complaints against public servants. Freedom of information laws empower citizens and media to monitor government actions. However, this tool face limitations such as slow legal process, political interference, and lack of resources. Their effectiveness depends on independence, public supports, and consistent enforcement. Lastly, let us examine the cultural roots of corruption. In some societies, practices like palakasan or gift-giving may blur the line between tradition and corruptions. Over time, these norms can normalize unethical behavior. Long-term public education campaigns, ethical leaderships, and values-based education are necessary to change societal attitudes and promote integrity, especially among the youth. So, let's proceed for our fourth topic, which is unemployment. Let us now turn to the issue of unemployment, beginning with structural and cyclical unemployment. Structural unemployment occurs when workers' skill no longer match the demand of the job market, often due to technological change. Cyclical unemployment meanwhile result from economic downturns or recessions. Structural unemployment poses a greater challenges to modern economies because it requires long-term solutions such as skill training, education reform, and industry adoptions. Next, let us discuss the future of work. Automation and artificial intelligence are expected to replace certain routine jobs while creating an opportunity in technology, data analysis, and digital services. Governments and the educational institutions must prepare the workforce by investing in digital skills, lifelong learning programs, and reskilling initiatives. This will help workers adapt to rapid technological changes and remain competitive in job market. Now, let us analyze youth unemployment. High youth unemployment leads to serious social and economic consequences, including poverty, crime, and political instability. It can also cause frustration and loss of trust in institutions. To address this, government must adopt a comprehensive strategy that includes vocational training, entrepreneurship support, and targeted policies that encourage job creation for young people. Finally, let us examine the minimum wage debate. Some argue that increasing the minimum wage can lead to higher unemployment by increasing labor costs based on the basic supply and demand models. However, empirical evidence shows that moderate wage increases do not necessarily reduce unemployment and can even boost consumer spending and productivity. The key is to implement wage policies gradually and in line with economic conditions. And last topic that I will reporting on a serious and sensitive issue that affects millions of children worldwide, which is child abuse. First, let us discuss underreporting and prevention. One of the main reasons child abuse cases remain underreported is fear. Fear of retaliations, family shame, and mistrust of authorities. Children may also lack of ability or confidence to speak up, while adults may hesitate to report abuse due to cultural norms or uncertainty. Mandatory reporting laws play a crucial role in addressing this problem by requiring teachers, healthcare workers, and social workers to report suspected abuse. Public awareness campaigns help educate communities on recognizing warning signs, while strong community support system ensure that victims receive immediate protection and assistance. Together, these measures encourage early intervention and save children from prolonged harm. Next, let us examine the long-term impact of child abuse. The effects of child abuse do not end in childhood. Survivors often experience lasting psychological trauma, including anxiety, depressions, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Socially, abuse can damage trust and relationships, leading to isolation or difficulty forming healthy bonds. Developmentally, abused children may struggle academically and professionally later in life. These long-term effects highlight the urgent need for early detection, counseling, and sustained mental health support for survivors. Now, let us turn to the digital threat. In today's digital age, children face no danger such as online exploitation, grooming, and cyberbullying. These crimes are harder to detect because they occur anonymously and across borders. Addressing these challenges requires stronger laws against online abuse, improved monitoring by digital platforms, and the use of technology such as content filtering and AI detection systems. Equally important is digital literacy education for children and parents so they can recognize risks and report harmful behavior online. Finally, let us discuss state intervention and family rights. Governments have a moral and legal responsibility to protect children from harm. However, this responsibility must be balanced with respect for parental rights and family autonomy. State intervention should occur when there is clear evidence of abuse or neglect and when child safety is at risk. The goal is not to punish families, but to protect children while providing parents with supports, education, and rehabilitation whenever possible.